Good morning. This is a Rageling across New York scene. Today we have Alonna going to the tree Yggdrasil. She's heard that others, it's a safe place to meet and talk and not fight. So Alonna's arranged a meeting. She's trying to figure out somewhere safe that her and Savannah can talk, and uh, she figured knowing Stoneclaw's patterns of behavior that she'd probably be here when she got here. And as matters have it, she is. So Alana's premeditation and having Savannah bring food, especially bacon, um, was not ill conceived. And Alana is approaching the tree on the umbral side, where she's sure that she's going to find Stoneclaw.
And there the Stoneclaw be. Strangely in Hamid for once, but she does that periodically. Alaric does spend a lot of time around the tree now as well. So it makes communication a good bit easier. So she has yet again done what she normally does when not accompanied by distractions, which is find her magical little spot in those roots, that awesome little like crook between all the massive gnarling roots and whatnot, and settled herself in, curled herself into it. And while not necessarily dead asleep, is at least kind of lazily, lightly napping at most. She will probably flick her eyes open as Alana comes into view and tip her chin back, as far as she can, anyways, being hunkered in.
And hello there, pup. How are you today?
He's good.
Glad to hear it. I figured you'd be here. We're going to be having some company in a short bit.
And she'll perk a little bit, squirm into more of a at least semi-upright position in her nice little gnarled area. Has probably a root that she's like using as a backrest that she squirms around to sit up a little higher on.
I have a feeling you may have met her before.
Who?
Her name's Savannah. She's about this tall, and her eyes are very green and look much like a cat's.
Don't know. Will know when I smell.
I figured. She says she may have met you at the haunted house you went to.
Yes. I punched a door. I won.
Glad to hear it. And Alana takes out a mirror to glance across the gauntlet to see if Savannah's there yet.
And the gauntlet here is like 3, so those are all successes.
I can see all the things across. And as she looks across, she sees Savannah standing there with several bags, likely of food.
Yeah, she's just kind of steady there a bit awkwardly, looking around almost nervously, like, what am I doing here, standing with bags of food? She's just, yeah, so.
I believe she's a changeling, if I understood our conversations of obscurity correct.
The ones Olaf calls Alfar, yes?
Aye.
He's not Fern?
No, but don't know if I know the fern.
Don't know. Came to tree.
Well, I'll be heading across and bringing her through then. And we'll see for certain, won't we?
And she'll nod and kind of start hitching herself more upright, more alert.
And Alana will walk through the door into the tree and step
then
across.
through the wibbly wobbly bit.
and then step out of a door that's almost, you can't even tell it's there in the tree behind Savannah. Hello there, kitten.
Savannah jumps a little bit, turns around. Hi, where'd you come from?
I'll be showing you here in a moment.
She nods, and she holds up the bags. Food.
Wonderful. Come, follow me. After she makes sure that nobody's around to see them.
Yeah, she will follow.
You see her open a door in the tree and walk inside.
Savannah smiles a little bit. It is like, all right, I've seen stranger things than this, and and she will follow Alonna into the tree.
She closes the door behind you, and you see, like, in the air, a little ways in, you see this kind of shimmering portal, gateway sort of kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Come, kid, and then she'll loop her arm through yours and start walking towards.
She'll gladly take Alana's arm and walk with her.
And Alonna, and you will pass through, and you won't think much has changed, except the room may be a little bit bigger now. And she turns around and goes to the door that you just came in through.
Okay. She trusts Alana, so she's not going to say much.
And she opens the door, and the world outside is so very different.
She looks around like with almost bewilderment, wonderment. Yay, I passed my willpower. What is this?
This is the Umbra.
Oh. Oh. So what does she see when she looks around?
Well, when she takes you outside, the tree that you were originally going in, it was a large tree, but now that you're over here, this is an enormous tree that just goes up and up and up and up and like so insanely high. You would think planes might hit it if they were flying over. Kind of high. It's ridiculously large.
Oh. Hello, tree.
I think she's asleep, or she'd answer.
That doesn't seem too it doesn't seem too weird for Savannah because she knows Valeria. Talking trees are kind of a thing for her. So
Do you know if her faming becomes apparent in the Umbra or not?
I have no idea.
I was asking our resident tree liver, Miss Katie, Miss Stoneclaw.
I think she said she was on the phone.
Oh,
We can wait. It's fine.
but it's a fairly dark landscape. There's as you're looking around, you'll see occasionally little like motes of light or uh, moving creatures of some sort, very alien to uh, the world around the tree, around, well, most people. Um, and you'll see a giant woman sitting in the roots of the tree. And there's what else is of note?
Mostly just that at least the confines of the park itself are affected by the wild, so they're all very lush, very lively. There are various animal spirits wandering about. The trees, of course, enormous. And then I imagine there's a fairly clear line of where the trees kind of territory ends outside the park, and it does not look nearly as hospitable out there.
Savannah's just kind of taking it all in, looking around, her eyes wide with wonderment.
That's okay. Stoneclaw's abusing the distraction to kind of get a good look at her, tilt her head around this way and that, probably snuff in her direction a couple times and get very agitated because that doesn't work nearly as well when she's people.
Oh.
And remind me, there was no effect in place to make us forget you guys, right?
No.
Okay, sweet. Then yeah.
That's only if you're in the dreaming.
Perfect.
The Emperor's not subject to that, as far as I know. So, are you able to see her famine in the Umbra?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But she can still see her and recognize that she is, in fact, one of the weird people from the haunted house.
Yes. And Savannah doesn't remember that night. She only knows what was told to her by Summer's notes. So she's not going to. She might look at Stoneclaw curiously, as if, like, I should probably remember who you are, but I don't.
Well, Stoneclaw will go about getting up out of the roots, and she is like a, nigh on or surpassing 7 foot tall woman. So I mean, there's probably only so many of those around.
Especially who are so large and muscular.
She is the meat mountain. Her biceps have biceps.
Yeah, Savannah's like looking up. Savannah's like 5'5", so she's looking up
and up and up.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Savannah.
Yes. You are Alphar, yes?
I don't know if she knows that word. Probably not.
Well, that's our name for faithful.
Oh. She passed her willpower roll, so she doesn't have to lie. But she's going to be a little vague anyway. Maybe?
You don't know if you are thing.
She's vague about a lot of things. I think it has to do with who she is as a fair folk. I'm not entirely sure though. I've only met a couple.
Me too.
I'm a cat.
You look like people.
Yeah, I know.
So do you. And she says it as she looks up to Stoneclaw.
Stoneclaw displays what can only be called a wolfish grin. Yes.
So, anyways, kitten, this is what I see when I was looking out the window.
Wow. It's pretty.
Is pretty here. Is pretty in park places. Is not pretty in city. And she'll gesture beyond to the webbing riddled buildings.
Yeah, Savannah looks at them and nods. Mm-hmm.
If you ever find yourself in trouble, this is a safe place to come.
Yes.
Okay.
Iggy does not like fighting.
She nods. Okay.
And as if to indicate as much, she will kind of, having not necessarily come very close, still kind of hanging out in amidst the roots and whatnots, will reach out and kind of pet the trunk to indicate it.
Aye, this is Yggdrasil, the world tree.
Savannah is still in sort of shock and awe at the size of this tree.
Is she still holding the bags, by the way, or have they been deposited somewhere?
No, she's still holding them.
In that case, Stoneclaw is very benignly just kind of sniffing the air closer to her because even a human nose can pick up food smells.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and she almost suddenly remembers that she's still tightly gripping the bags of food because she is very nervous about all of this. And she offers them to Stoneclaw. I have food.
This is the right motion. Stoneclaw proceeds to cut the distance between them at a surprising pace considering how long her stride is. And is now is suddenly holding bags and like putting her face like partially in one of them to snuff at the contents.
There's bacon and pancakes and eggs and hash browns. But mostly bacon.
This is good. And she just on the spot just kind of plumps down on her butt. Right there in the grass, probably at the smaller end of where all the roots are reaching. Plunks down and starts kind of rummaging, sniffing the contents of various takeout containers to identify them better.
Yeah, they're just plain styrofoam takeout containers, but the food is from a diner, so it's decent quality.
It's delicious, greasy food. Num num num.
Yes.
Yep. She is a weirdo, so she will, just sit there and pick each one up and kind of sniff it and set it here, set it there. Eventually sniffs one, flicks it open, and, like, looks ready to put her face in it practically, though she kind of pauses and holds it out towards Alonna first. It might be full of bacon.
Alonna will take a couple pieces, hand them to Savannah, take a couple pieces for herself, and just nod to Stoneclaw.
And now there's a fistful of bacon in Stoneclaw's mouth. She's not a graceful eater. I imagine there's like plastic spoons and forks and stuff in there because they usually shove a couple of the little sets into the bag. She is making zero effort to find those. And after stuffing a handful, like a full handful of bacon into her mouth and letting a couple little pieces kind of hang half out, chewing idly, we'll start investigating the other containers.
Savannah smiles and just kind of looks at Alonna.
Aye, so I guess you could say this is my sister.
Oh, nice.
Yes, soon. Very long fortnight.
Oh.
It'll happen soon, though.
Yes. She'll eventually come to the container of hash browns, kind of tilt her head a bit, quizzically, and hold it up in their direction. What is?
Those are hash browns.
They're potatoes. Shredded and fried.
What is fried? Is like at party where they put the things in the bin and it makes hissing noises.
Think of them as like tiny little French fries that are cooked until they're crispy.
They're usually put in a pan with grease and they make a sizzling noise, yeah.
I like grease. And she kind of like scoops up a little bit of them in her fingers, like kind of spoonifies her fingers and scoops up a bit and tosses that in her mouth. Chews quizzically for a couple moments, and when she swallows, resolves firmly, I like hash browns.
Savannah smiles and she's kind of daintily eating her bacon. And when she's finished, she will lick her fingers, almost like a cat would after they've finished eating something, and kind of lick around her lips and stuff. And she twitches her nose a little bit.
Alas, Stoneclaw is many things. Dainty is not one of them. The like the deep breadth of a distance and like how they eat is pretty awe-inspiring.
Yes, it's great though.
Did you get pancakes?
At this point, probably a slew of these containers have been flipped open and just kind of set around, however far Stoneclaw can reach. Just kind of set to where similar things. She's flicked one open, snuffed other containers, kind of left other closed containers in the general vicinity of the one open one that smells the same. So there's probably one with pancakes flicked open.
Did they give you syrup?
There should be cups in there.
Hey, there we go. And she's gonna open up one of the things with syrup and drizzle it over the pancakes. Now, my dear, these will probably be easier to eat with a fork, but you're more than welcome to eat them with your hands. Just be aware your hands are gonna get sticky if you do.
And Stoneclaw will offer up one of the little, plastic wrapped baggies of, a fork and a spoon and a knife and like a napkin, because she knows what silverware is. She just doesn't see why you'd bother. But hey,
You're welcome to try it if you want before. I'll start cutting it up.
there's a definitive nose twitch and a bit of interest, kind of curious interest.
Go ahead.
And she'll like snag up one of the little pieces and pop it in her mouth, gnaw on that for a second, and then decide that these little containers of syrup, the little takeout containers of syrup, are definitely worth investigating. She probably pops one open, sticks her tongue in it, blinks, and then takes it like a fucking shot. Like, just drinks it.
Alonna's gonna start chuckling.
I think.
Savannah's gonna look slightly horrified.
That is the correct way to look. And she'll pull a bit of a face for about half a second. And then kind of shrug and find one of the containers of I imagine it's like scrambled eggs, and just starts kind of eating that with her hands.
Savannah's looking at Alonna and looking at Stoneclaw, kind of back and forth between the two of them, like, what am I watching?
She's watching a well-oiled machine do its work.
Yes, it's almost awe-inspiring. Like, she's not sure.
Alonna's gonna take off one of the lids and put some eggs, a little bit of hash browns, some pancake in there, and set it aside for herself, and then do the same with another lid and give some to Savannah.
This is a wise decision she has made.
Savannah smiles and she takes one of the containers of syrup and she pours it over all of her items on the plate. Her eggs, her hash browns, and her pancakes.
Stoneclaw is watching and learning, and after viewing this action, proceeds to take another one of the little containers of syrup. Thank God they were generous, and without the finesse of like a light drizzle, just kind of dumps it on top of what remains in the container of eggs, or at least the one she has in her hands, and then continues eating with her hands.
You remember that trick with the pizza?
Yes.
If you take some of the eggs and the bacon and the hash browns, you can do the same with the pancakes.
No, Lord. Stoneclaw is suddenly dead set on doing this and proceeds to, like, with all the finesse of a 5-year-old, like, pulls over a pancake, sticks it in the top lid of one of the styrofoam containers, and using her hand starts kind of shoveling things onto it. And then trying mightily to roll it up. She probably has overloaded it dramatically and finally just kind of looks around helplessly because the poor pancake it's struggling, and finally just grabs another pancake and throws it on top. Is sandwich no?
Aye, that's an option too.
Savannah just smiles and continues eating her food as she's watching this. She is thoroughly amused and horrified. Like, just, this is an amazing spectacle.
It's a little grotesque, but it's hard to look away from.
Yes.
And yeah, she starts just kind of mashing that into her face and proves yet again that she has mastered the art of, like, a consistent feed of, like, nibbling bits off of the food, kind of chewing at the same time, swallowing, so that she just has a nonstop process. There's no pause to chew. There is only consumption.
Lana will sit contentedly.
Savannah will eat probably about half of what's on her plate before she gets full and offers the rest of it to Stoneclaw.
Don't worry, Stoneclaw will do right by your leftovers. They die a good death.
Yes. And she will begin almost reminiscent of an animal grooming itself after it's eaten, is what Savannah does. She kind of licks her fingers, licks her lips, stuff like that.
So Stoneclaw, or Sarah, she says Sarah because she's inhuman. She wouldn't have said Stoneclaw.
Yes.
Remember the conversation we were having at the cabin the other night?
Blink.
About the dating and such.
Yes.
I think I may want to date this girl. What do you think?
Savannah turns red.
Stoneclaw kind of blinks and looks up and kind of studies between them.
They are sitting pretty close to each other. Like, if Savannah wanted to grab Alana's hand, she could.
Yep, and she hilariously, like, proximity isn't so much a thing for her because she figures it only good social grace to stay close enough to bump people and whatnot. But she kind of glances up and looks between them and looks really deeply puzzled for a good moment, tilts her head one way, tilts it the other way, and then shrugs. He's no cubs, so does not matter. There's kind of an audible question mark there.
I
There was You know what? I will let you peony her so I can give you a further description of her confusion. Hooray! And you're welcome to do the same thing, Lindsay, if you want.
have two.
I got one.
Then it'll probably be a little clearer to Alonna than to Savannah, but there's definitely an initial reaction along the lines of but 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 dating is for mating and none of you are boys and that doesn't make sense. But as she thinks about it and puzzles over the fact that there can't be children anyways, meh. But there's definitely an initial reaction of like, that doesn't make any sense, followed by, I guess, well, meh, food.
Savannah looks at Alana.
Alana has a sheepish grin on her face.
She kind of looks at it. You can peony her for this look that she's given her. Like, is that a confirmation? Like, is that a yes? At least you got one.
She'll nod.
Does this mean you are going to talk about shoes a lot and wear tall, tall shoes so she thinks you are strong and good mate?
I was thinking I'm gonna make her wear the tall, tall shoes.
She'll glimpse between them again and kind of nod in affirmative, like, that makes perfect sense.
Savannah looks confused. Shoes?
High heels, darling.
Is for dating, so you look like good mate. Big and strong.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Savannah makes a mental note to wear high heels on their date later tonight.
This all makes perfect sense to Stoneclaw. Doesn't necessarily have to make sense to anyone else.
It makes sense to Alana because she was there for this conversation. She knows exactly what she's talking about.
And that's not the weirdest thing that Savannah's ever heard. So she's just like, whatever, okay.
Yes. Is good. Dates are silly. But if makes you happy, do the thing. Wear the shoes.
Savannah smiles and takes Alana's hand.
Alana will give it a gentle squeeze. So, my dear Sarah, do you have any sex advice?
There's a head tilt.
There's a head tilt on Savannah's part, too. Like, what? And her face is red. I'm not even going to attempt to stop that because, yeah.
I have not had mate.
I'm sure you will one day. If you want.
Is hard to find. Not many wild places.
I know.
Even harder to find one that is big and strong like me. Make strong. There's kind of a pause there. Children. It was obviously the like searching for the word pause.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm certain your children will be big and strong.
Yes. But first have to find mate.
We'll help you find one after we get back. How's that?
We'll have to go very far.
Aye, I'm sure.
Maybe.
Savannah's just kind of sitting there listening, not exactly sure what to say.
After consuming mass quantities, Stoneclaw is just kind of picking at the food, probably just nibbling idly on bacon just for the sake of having a thing on her in her mouth between talking. She looks back to the tree for a moment, thinks, and then in a weird gesture, kind of mimics what Alonna did earlier. Takes one of the trays that's empty or near to it and kind of puts a bit of everything in it. Not nearly so orderly, but puts a bit of everything in it. And finally presses up to her feet, moves far closer to the tree, kind of stepping in between the roots, getting into the points where they're gigantic and gnarled parts of the tree, and finally finds like a nook there, like just a nice little place in the fork of two of the roots, and kind of nudges the container there, and then returns, plops back down for when Iggy comes back.
Savannah smiles.
I will show her bacon.
Everyone should know about bacon.
Yes.
Alana smirks.
Did she tell you? And she'll kind of glance to Alana. I already teach her jokes. She is very good at them.
No, she hadn't told me.
Yes.
What kind of jokes have you taught her?
First one I teach her was when I heard spring was coming, I was so excited I wet my plants. And she looks very expectantly at both of them because this is supposed to be hilarious.
Oh, Savannah is busting out laughing. Like this is that was not something she was expecting. And she files that one away. I'm gonna have to tell that one to Valeria. She makes a mental note to tell that one to Valeria later.
Perfect. Nope, Stoneclaw looks very, very accomplished because that is the response she's supposed to get. Normally, people just look at her funny.
Alana is chuckling because she loves Stoneclaw's jokes.
Savannah appreciates that type of humor, so.
Yes. And
What
I teach
other-
her Alpha's favorite. Is good joke.
What's that one?
Always makes him laugh. I teach her what is red and bad for your teeth.
What?
It is a brick.
Indeed. Indeed
Yes.
it is. uh,
And this is why we love you.
Yes. They are very good jokes.
Savannah nods. Mm-hmm.
Anymore, you're planning on teaching her
I could teach her stick joke.
stick joke.
Yes. You say, what is long and brown and sticky? And people guess poop. But it is not poop, it is a stick.
I like stick better than poop, I think.
Yes. That would not make sense. Poop is not sticky like sticks are.
No.
Because that is clearly an acceptable adjective to describe a stick.
Right. Sticks are totally sticky, and Savannah just nods like, yeah, this is totally cool. Totally right. You are completely right about that. She will not dispute.
Oh boy, I love it when people help and encourage this.
She's Puka. She's gonna help and encourage this. She's gonna be like, oh yeah. Oh.
Boy. Let me look up another really terrible one. I'll let you fill it with the or fill the time for a moment while I look up something suitably terrible.
So this is a safe place, and it's open to those who aren't trying to cause trouble in her area. And you'll find all sorts here. From us. I've heard some of your people have been here. Some of the Fae folk. A fern. And
She, when you say Fern, she gets a look of recognition on her face, like, I know who that is.
you know this fern.
Maybe. um, yeah, she does.
Have I met her? Or him?
Her, um, I don't know. I was hoping to introduce you to her last night.
Was she at the bar the night that I met you?
Oh, yes, she was.
She's the one with the orange eyes.
Savannah nods.
I wonder if her eyes change color with the seasons like a leaf.
Savannah's curious about this as well. I wonder if they do. I'm gonna have to pay attention.
Ooh, I think of it.
Savannah
What you
turns
think
her
of?
attention back to Stoneclaw.
Yes, Aaron teach me many good jokes. What is the difference between bird flu and swine flu?
I don't know what.
If you have bird flu, you need treatment. If you have swine flu, you need ointment. Firm nod.
Treatment and ointment.
It is like painfully obvious that like Sarah here has no idea what the hell she just said and why it's funny. She just
Nope.
looks expectantly for reactions.
Savannah is losing it. She's like, that is great. And she kind of understands that she really probably doesn't have any idea what she just said, but Savannah knows what she said, and that's all that matters. Oh. She's just, as she's laughing, she's just kind of shaking her head, but it's definitely very funny to her.
Stoneclaw is pleased. Goes back to Bacon's. She has done her good deed for the day.
Savannah, still kind of giggling, looks back at Alonna.
Hi, kitten.
So, I'm guessing here we don't really have to speak hypothetically?
She narrows her eyes and gives you a slight mischievous grin. Maybe.
She glares playfully.
Nah, I think we can be. And she looks to Sarah, because Sarah's more experienced with the tree and the rules than she is. We can talk more openly here. Aye?
Remember, Vale. But yes, many people see me here. But should not say words that. She pauses. Olaf say, should not use words that you did not know before. Which makes a lot of sense if you're talking to a Hamid, but not so much from a lupus to a metis.
Yeah, Alana's kind of got a curious look trying to decipher Lupus' understanding of Hamid's speech.
Is things he says to new.
People.
Yes.
Aye. So aye, we can speak more openly here, though there will still be a level of discretion.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm not going to go around saying stuff. She's being genuine when she says that, if Alana has any doubts.
I'm glad to hear it, kitten.
I like it here.
Aye. It's quite beautiful. How long are you gonna need to get ready then?
I don't know. Shouldn't be too long.
Have you decided which of those 10 million pairs of shoes you're gonna wear?
I do not have 10 million pairs of shoes.
Me neither. I have one pair. She sticks up a foot. She's wearing Vibram 5 fingers.
Savannah does have quite a collection of shoes, but she doesn't have. It'll be a surprise.
Wasn't asking which you were gonna wear, just if you decided.
Oh, I think so.
And do you know what you're gonna wear with them, if anything?
Well, if I had it my way, I think I wouldn't wear anything. But, there are still laws that we have to obey in the city. So, yeah, I think I've got a pretty good idea.
So again, I ask, how long do you think it'll take you to get ready?
Probably about an hour.
Is that remotely accurate?
Yeah, give or take a few minutes.
Well then, shouldn't keep you all day. I'm sure you have stuff to do beforehand.
Yeah. She is looking at Alonna like she doesn't really want to go. um, well, yeah, maybe later tonight I'll have to show you something.
She kind of narrows her eyes curiously, looking at you.
It's a surprise. You'll find out. She's got a big giant grin on her face.
Thankfully,
Alright then,
Stoneclaw's. Yep. I was gonna say, thankfully, Stoneclaw's catching none of this undercurrent and has gone about dutifully returning the now very empty containers to the bags. She doesn't seem to know what to do with them after that, but she put them in the bags.
Savannah will take them with her when she leaves and dispose of them properly. She will reluctantly stand up.
Lana will get up and walk her back out.
She will, before that happens, she'll turn to Stoneclaw and she'll say, "It was really nice to meet you, Sarah.
Yes.
I hope to see you again soon. You're very interesting."
I am here lots during day.
She nods. Okay. And she will take the bags and thank you for putting this stuff in the bags. I'll take care of it.
Ah, is good.
And she'll pick up the bags and allow Alonna to walk her out.
And Alana will walk her out the tree, and before she lets her go, she'll turn her to her. So, how was that first meeting with family?
As awkward and wonderful and weird as I expected it to be. It's usually like that when you meet someone's family. I think it'll be fine. And then she gives Alana a kiss.
And Alana will kiss her back. I know you have a long train ride back.
Yeah, I do. And she gives Alana a hug and kind of lingers for a moment before leaving and disposing of the bags and begin heading back home to get ready for their date tonight.
And Alana will head back through the tree to the Umbra.
Where Stoneclaw has contentedly nestled herself back into the roots. Still kind of doing much as she was when Alana arrived. She's nestled in and comfortable, but she's keeping kind of a lazy eye on the comings and goings. She looks very content.
You staying here for a while then?
Yes.
Alright, I'll see you back at Sept later then.
Yes.
And with that, Alana will shift to Lupus and make her way back to the Sept. Anybody else want anything else to do?
Nope, Stoneclaw has made her offering to the tree god. All is right in the world.
Then with that, thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. Good night.